Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I am scrapping a picture from a University of Louisville football game. My dad took me and my two sisters to a game recently, and we just had a lot of fun, so it's definitely a memory worth scrapping. So I'm starting out with a textured piece of basil cardstock. It's got like the little polka dots on it, like raised polka dots. And I have my white gesso, and I know I want to do some mixed media, and I know I want this white to show. So really, it doesn't matter that it's gesso, more like it could be white acrylic paint. So I'm trying to build up the white, but still keep it, light in some areas. And I'm using red, white, and black on this layout because those are the colors of the U of L Cardinals. So I have that piece of black cardstock. I know I want to bring it in, but first I get some more mixed media on the background with my black soot distress oxide, and I go ahead and do the packaging technique where I put some ink on the package. It's just spray it down with some water and flop it down all over my layout. And as you see, it creates kind of a messy look here, but ultimately I really like how it turns out. I think it works out very well. I tried drying it for a while and then ultimately decided I need to wait, turn off the camera, turn it back on, immediately knock it, but that's okay. So I've got my one photo and I'm doing a very, very thin black first matte, and then you saw that silver sparkly paper. I believe this paper came from Cricut, actually, and I'll put a wider sparkly silver border on my photo, which I really like to have a little bit of sparkle and shine in my layout, so this is perfect. And on the sparkly paper, I adhere my photo with double-sided tape. So that is one of the few adhesives that I found that sticks well to glitter paper. Not much does. And now you can see I'm having to actually cut through my paper with an X-Acto knife. Now, this is a thicker paper, but also the reason I have to do this is because I was cheap and I did not buy new blades for my paper trimmer. Instead, I had my husband sharpen them with his little sharpening stones for his tools in the basement, and that worked great, but it did take off the slightest layer of the metal, so it doesn't cut as deeply as if I'd gotten a new blade. It works pretty nicely if you're trying to save on blades, but again, you might have to do things like I did there and cut your own thick cardstock. So here I'm doing a little bit of journaling in my white pen, just writing about how we had a lot of fun. My two sisters really loved hanging out and enjoying the game, and I think my dad and I paid a lot more attention to the game, which I just thought was kind of funny. A little more indicative of our personalities, I suppose. But no matter what, we all had fun together. And, we don't get to do this kind of stuff nearly as often anymore, both due to COVID and just, life. So it was really nice that we got the opportunity to do that. So as I've got my, photo layer together, I decide it needs to be popped up on foam. So I get my foam out and my double-sided tape again so that I can stick it all together and give it a little oomph. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, I want a little something behind it. I get some tissue paper. I'm thinking I want to use that, but I don't love it. There's already a lot of white in the background, so I know it needs to be something else. And of course, I wasn't sure what that is, so I decide to get my title ready. So this is a new pack of thickers, and it's perfect. They're like a silver foil. I'm going to spell out Go Cards. But then, before I do that, I'm like, I really want something else behind my photo. I grab 3 different threads. They're just regular sewing threads, a red, black, and white. And I just kind of take a whole mess of thread of each of them out. And then once I've got all 3 colors, I move my photo and I just kind of bunch it all together in like a loose, messy knot bunch. And I'm moving it around to try to figure out exactly where I want this kind of area of texture and extra interest to go. I thought about having it over to the right to kind of emphasize a diagonal line, but ultimately I decided on the bottom left. I just really liked how it looked there, and I think it kind of draws your eye more in toward the photo. If I had had it more on the right, I think it would have drawn your eye to that, nice blank space over there on the right, which I wasn't going for. So to adhere it, I use my Elmer's glue and tack it down in a few places, and that seems to work okay. I must say I'm a little worried about how it will do long term, just because I do that and then stick my photos on top of it. But we'll see. I haven't done thread a whole lot, so we'll just see how it goes. And when I do it again, check out and see if I do that same technique because it worked, or if I try something different because it didn't. But I really like how it looks so far, so that's what's important. And now I'm using my little needle nose bottle of glue to add extra glue to these thickers because, of course, they would not stick, especially to the mixed media and the textured cardstock. So you have to add some extra glue. My title is Go Cards. University of Louisville is the Cardinals. So as we affectionately call them, the Cards. So I think that is a pretty appropriate title. Now, I don't have football embellishments. I certainly don't have U of L Cardinal embellishments. But, something else needs to happen. So I'm taking out some stickers, trying to decide, and I think, okay, maybe some sparkly enamel dots. But no, that's not what I'm looking for. And then I come across this Queen & Co. set of black and white pearls in different sizes. I'm like, oh, okay, that'll work, because those are more like enamel dots. I kind of scatter them around, sort of trying to emphasize that diagonal line that I tried to loosely start with my mixed media. And I think it's working out pretty well. I really like that there are 3 different sizes of little pearls, 2 white and 1 black, and I think that's really looking nice. I know it's hard to see in the video, but it really does look nice in person, so trust me on that. But still, something is missing. I need more. So what I decide to do is grab my thickest black journaling pen, and I do a 1-line border around the whole layout. This kind of frames it in a little bit. But that's not enough. So I go ahead and I take my Jelly Roll white pen and I add a more of a squiggly border, very loose squiggle. And finally, I take my sparkly Jelly Roll pen and do another one to try to build up and have a nice thicker border. And that will complete my layout. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.